My name is Elena Carter. 9 years ago, while I was lying unconscious in a hospital bed after giving birth, my own sister signed papers that changed my life forever. When I woke up, everyone told me the same thing. You gave him away. They said I was unstable, too broken, too emotional, too dangerous to be a mother. And for years, I believed them, until last month, when a 9-year-old boy walked up to me during a crowded engagement party, looked me directly in the eyes, and asked, "If you're not my mom, why do I have your smile?" That was the moment my sister's perfect life started collapsing. Because what she didn't know was that I already had proof. Before I continue, if stories about betrayal, revenge, and family secrets pull you in, take a second to like, subscribe, and comment your city and local time below. I love seeing where everyone is listening from around the world. Now, let me tell you exactly how my sister stole my son and how he found his way back to me. 9 years earlier, October 2016, I was 24 years old and 7 months pregnant when my fiancé Daniel died.
Car accident.
Rainy highway outside Chicago. A drunk driver crossed lanes. Instant impact. I still remember the police officer standing outside my apartment door. Still remember the way his mouth moved while my brain stopped processing words after. "I'm sorry, Miss Carter." Daniel was everything good in my life. Funny, patient, the kind of man who kissed my forehead when I was anxious. We already had our son's name picked out.
Noah.
After Daniel died, I moved back into my parents' house temporarily because I couldn't function alone. That was my first mistake. My family cared about appearances more than people. My father was a financial consultant obsessed with reputation. My mother lived for church gossip and country club approval. And my older sister Victoria cared about control. She was beautiful in the polished magazine cover kind of way. Perfect hair, perfect smile, perfect lies. Growing up, she always needed to win. If I got attention, she took it back. If I succeeded, she minimized it. And when Daniel proposed to me before her boyfriend proposed to her, she never forgave me for that. At first, after Daniel's death, Victoria pretended to support me. She brought me tea, rubbed my back, told people, "Elena is devastated. We're protecting her." But underneath it, I could feel something colder, especially whenever she looked at my stomach. One night during dinner, my father sighed and said, "A baby deserves stability." My mother added quietly, "Maybe this tragedy happened for a reason." What does that mean? She avoided eye contact. Just, maybe God is redirecting your life. Translation? They didn't think I should keep my child. I stopped talking during family dinners after that. December 2nd, 2016. Labor started at 3:14 in the morning. Complications began almost immediately. Blood pressure crash. Emergency surgery. Panic everywhere. I remember doctors shouting. Then darkness. When I woke up, everything felt wrong. The room was too quiet. My body hurt.
My throat was dry.
And my baby wasn't there. I asked the nurse, "Where's my son?" She froze. That hesitation changed my life. Then my mother walked into the room, holding flowers. "No baby, just flowers." I asked again, "Where's Noah?" My mother sat beside the bed and took my hand. That fake, gentle voice. "Sweetheart, you made the decision before surgery, remember?" I frowned. "What decision?" Her eyes softened with practiced pity. "You signed temporary guardianship papers for Victoria." My stomach dropped.
No.
"You were overwhelmed, Elena."
No.
"You said you couldn't do this alone." I tried sitting up too fast. Machines started beeping. A doctor rushed in, telling me to calm down. I kept repeating, "I want my baby." Then Victoria walked in carrying him. My son. Tiny blue blanket. Dark hair. Sleeping peacefully. The second I saw him, something primal happened inside me. That was my child. Victoria smiled softly. She was performing for an audience. "Look how peaceful he is." I reached for him. She stepped back. Actually stepped back. "The doctors think stress could hurt your recovery." I felt like I was losing my mind. "What are you talking about? Give me my son." Victoria exchanged a look with my mother. Then she said the sentence that haunted me for years. Elena, you sign the papers. Over the next week, they convinced me I had done exactly that. Sedatives, pain medication, confusion, emotional manipulation. Every time I questioned it, they repeated, "You weren't mentally stable." My father brought in a lawyer. A lawyer, while I was still bleeding from childbirth. He explained guardianship slowly, as if I were stupid. Temporary care, family support, time to recover emotionally. I kept saying, I never agreed to adoption. And every single time,
Victoria answered.
nobody said adoption. But weeks later, that's exactly where it went. January 2017. I found documents in my father's office.
Permanent custody transfert. Signed.
My signature at the bottom. I stared at the page for 10 straight minutes. It looked like my handwriting, but I had no memory of signing it. None. I confronted Victoria that night. She didn't even deny it properly. She just crossed her arms and said, "You were falling apart. I was grieving. You were unstable. He's my son." Then she snapped, finally showing her real face. "And what exactly were you going to give him? A dead father and a depressed mother?" That sentence broke something inside me. I slapped her. Hard. She smiled afterward. Actually smiled. Because she knew everyone in the house would believe her over me. And they did. My mother cried dramatically. My father threatened legal action if I caused problems. 3 weeks later, I left home. Without Noah. Worst day of my life. The next several years felt like survival instead of living. I became a trauma nurse. Worked night shifts. Barely slept. I dated occasionally, but never seriously. Every birthday, I bought Noah a gift I never sent. Tiny rituals became my way of surviving. At Target, I'd stop in the toy aisle, wondering what he liked. Dinosaurs? Legos? Basketball? I didn't know, because my sister had erased me from his life. Or, at least, that's what she thought. Instagram's perfect motherhood. Matching outfits. Family photos. Long emotional captions about choosing love. Thousands of followers. People called her inspiring. Meanwhile, I was crying in hospital supply closets on Noah's birthdays. The unfairness of it made me sick. But I stayed silent. Because legally, I had nothing.
No proof.
No money for attorneys. No support system. Until 2025. The year everything changed. It started with a school DNA project. Noah's private academy launched an ancestry program in connection with Family Heritage Month. Students built family trees. Victoria almost refused to let him participate. That should have been the warning sign. But Noah begged. Apparently, he'd always had questions. Why didn't he resemble Victoria? Why did nobody have pregnancy photos? Why did his grandparents get awkward whenever he asked about being born? So Victoria finally gave in, confident nothing would happen. She underestimated science. And karma. 2 weeks later, Noah got the results. And so did I, because somehow, my old DNA profile from a medical study years earlier matched his. I was finishing a hospital shift when my phone buzzed. Potential immediate family match. I opened the app casually, then froze. Relationship. Biological parent-child match. Name. Noah Carter.
Age. 9.
I stopped breathing. Literally stopped breathing. A coworker asked if I was okay. I couldn't answer. My hands were shaking too hard. I went into the hospital bathroom and locked the door. Then I cried so hard I slid onto the floor. For 9 years, I thought I'd lost him forever. And suddenly, there he was.
Alive. Real. Mine.
3 days later, I received a message. Anonymous account. Did you ever lose a child? I knew instantly.
Noah.
I stared at the screen for almost an hour before replying. Yes. 3 dots appeared. Then, I think maybe I'm that child. I started crying again. We talked carefully at first. He was smart, cautious, curious. He asked, "Why did you give me away?" That question destroyed me. I told him the truth carefully. Not hatred. Not revenge. Just truth. I never wanted to lose you, he asked. Then why didn't you come get me? I typed and erased answers for 20 minutes. Finally, because I thought I had no legal right and I didn't know how. Then came the message that changed everything. I found hospital documents in my mom's office. Not mom. Not my mother. My mom.
Victoria.
Some signatures look weird. That was the first crack in her perfect world. I hired an attorney within a week. Then, a forensic handwriting expert. Then, a private investigator. And slowly, the truth surfaced. Medical staff statements. Sedative records. Timeline inconsistencies. Unauthorized legal processing during my medical recovery. One retired nurse even admitted, "Your sister pushed very aggressively for paperwork while you were medicated." Every discovery made me sicker. This wasn't manipulation. This was theft. My sister stole my child. Meanwhile, Noah kept talking to me secretly. Late-night messages. Questions about Daniel. Questions about music. Questions about whether I liked superheroes too. One night he sent, "Do you think we laugh the same?" I sat in my apartment crying for an hour after reading that.
Because he sounded like me.
Even through text. Then came Victoria's engagement party. Luxury hotel downtown. Huge event. Influencers. Business people. Church friends. Perfect public image. Exactly the kind of stage Victoria loved. And Noah invited me. Secretly. He said, "I think everyone should know the truth." I asked, "Are you sure?" His reply, "I'm tired of feeling confused." That was the moment I realized. He was stronger than all of us. The night of the party, Victoria wore a white designer dress. Champagne everywhere. String quartet. Photographers. She looked radiant.
Fake.
But radiant. I stood near the ballroom entrance holding a folder containing 9 years of buried truth. Hospital records. DNA results. Expert analysis. My hands trembled. Then I saw Noah. Navy suit. Dark curls. Daniel's eyes. My son. He walked onto the stage while Victoria gave a speech about family, sacrifice, and unconditional love. The irony almost made me sick. Then Noah took the microphone.
Victoria laughed nervously.
"Oh, sweetheart, what are you doing?" He looked directly at her
And asked,
"Why did you lie about who my real mom is?" Silence.
Instant.
Heavy, violent silence. Victoria's smile disappeared. The ballroom froze. She whispered, "Noah." Then he pointed at me standing near the back. "Because she's my mother, isn't she?" Every head turned toward me. Victoria's fiancé looked confused. My parents looked horrified. And for the first time in 9 years, Victoria looked afraid. I stepped forward slowly, heart pounding.
Victoria hissed.
"Don't you dare." Too late. I handed the DNA report to her fiancé. Then the hospital records. Then the handwriting analysis. One by one, like dropping matches onto gasoline. People started whispering. Someone gasped. Victoria kept shaking her head. "She's lying." Then Noah asked the question that shattered everyone. He looked at me and whispered, "Did you want me?" I broke instantly. Tears everywhere. Every single second of every day.
Victoria suddenly screamed.
"I saved you." The room jumped. She pointed at me wildly. She was broken, depressed. She couldn't function. Then Noah said quietly, "No, you stole me." And somehow, that hurt her more than anything else.